One of the things is many people seem to think that because the dog's aggressive to people, that people must have abused the dog. Not true in my opinion. I've seen way too many dogs who've been, didn't used to be aggressive to people and now they are. And one of the main reasons that I've seen dogs becoming aggressive, and it happens a lot with the little dogs, is little attractive dogs, the little fluffy dogs who everybody wants to pat them. They just don't want to be patted. They're tired of being patted. And the only way these dogs can say to people, stay away from me, is by snapping. Hi there. So this is the final dog aggression pup dates video. So we've done, I think it's 4. This is the 5th one, and no little mini series will be complete without the crocodile dog. Crocodile dog is the aggressive dog who snaps at people, and I call it crocodile because they kind of, a bit like a crocodile's lying there quietly and then suddenly snap. You don't see it coming. And there are a lot of reasons, in my opinion, why dogs will snap at people and be people aggressive. And it's kind of a tough call to cover them all off here, but I want to give you a few ideas, a little bit of an insight as to why it could be happening, and give you a bit of an idea as to a solution or why the dog calming code is a solution, rather than just doing the training, which more training just won't work in my opinion. So one of the things is many people seem to think that because the dog's aggressive to people, that people must have abused the dog. Not true in my opinion. I've seen way too many dogs who've been, didn't used to be aggressive to people and now they are. And one of the main reasons that I've seen dogs becoming aggressive, and it happens a lot with the little dogs, is little attractive dogs, the little fluffy dogs who everybody wants to pat them. They just don't want to be patted. They're tired of being patted. And the only way these dogs can say to people, stay away from me, is by snapping. Because here's the thing, it's not okay, and this is a big thing for learning for humans, it's not okay for us as humans just to go up to a dog and invade their space and pat them because we want to pat them. And that's probably, you may be hearing that for the first time, but think of it, if you're walking down the street and some person comes up to you and kind of grabs you and starts patting you and, oh, you're beautiful, I love you, it's not okay. Just because they like you, like the look of you, doesn't mean they can invade your space and pat you. No. And it's the same with a dog. Animals have a lot of respect for other animals' space. And somehow as humans, we just kind of assume, well, we're just going to invade your space and you better like it or lump it. Well, a lot of dogs go, nah, it doesn't work like that. If I think you're coming to invade my space, I'll snap at you. So that's kind of, think of it, a lot of little dogs do that. A lot of the bigger dogs are a bit calmer. It's only when you actually pat them on the head, and that's because they may be a little bit dominant, I mean, I don't see myself as dominant, but if you start patting me on the head, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't happen very often, but I don't like it. It's the same thing. You don't invade your boss's space. You don't go up to your boss on a Monday morning and go, hey, boss, rub their hair and put your arm around them and you have a good weekend, What do you get up to? It's like too familiar. You're not allowed to invade space. And so that's kind of where a lot of this can come from. Now, of course, some dogs are a little bit fearful. Some dogs are kind of scared of people and they don't want you to get too close, so they'll snap or bark. Some dogs may be protecting the property, so they'll snap or bark. So there's lots of reasons, as you can see, why dogs may be a little bit snappy towards people. But the main thing I'd kind of suggest is, if you've got a snappy dog, 2 main things. One is, it's your job to keep your dog safe. And you do that by keeping them on a lead, keeping them away from people, keeping them in the house, in a crate, away from the gates, away from places where they may get into trouble, make mistakes. It's your job to protect other people. Maybe it's by putting a muzzle on them when they're in the outside. So that's the first thing. And that keeps your dog safe. It keeps you safe because you're not going to get in trouble with the courts and authorities. And it keeps the other people safe. And the other thing is the dog calming code. When you put that in place, the way that helps is, it doesn't matter whether your dog's being overprotective of the home. You put that in place, you say to the dog, not your job. Doesn't matter if your dog is fearful. You put the dog calming code in place and it says to the dog, don't worry about the other people, I've got it covered. If there's danger, if you're worried about things, I'll make the first move. You don't need to. So the dog's less reactive You know, the dog is far more tolerant. Tolerant is the word with all of this aggression. When you put the dog calming code in place, your dog becomes more tolerant. And if your dog's a fear biter, they're just not going to be so snappy. And even if your dog's kind of one of those dogs who doesn't like to be patted, again, they just become more tolerant when you've got the dog calming code in place. So, having worked with thousands and thousands of dogs, as you can see, I love the dog calming code, because once you've put that in place, you know where you stand. You go, you know what, my dog's not that bad. My dog's actually pretty good. And you might not need that much training once you put the dog calming code in place, but until you do so, you're kind of just, you're doing the training, but you haven't got the foundation in place. A bit like a cake. You can't put the icing on until you've got the cake. So hope that makes sense. That's all, folks. That's the dog aggression mini series in Pup Dates over. We've covered off those 5 different types of dogs. The boss dog. What did we do? We did the boss dog first. We did the fear biter. We did the border security patrol. And we've done the crocodile dog. And we did the busybody dog last week. So I hope that's been helpful, helping you understand the different types of dog aggression and how the dog calming code helps with all of it. All right, that's all. Have a great day. As always, much love to you and your dog. Take care for now. Bye-bye.